Hello and welcome to today's Info Video Bites. We have today Mr. Naidu from MeraEvents. Now, Mr. Naidu, the event space is a lot cluttered as of now today. What is the USP of MeraEvents?
So before that, I would like to briefly give the audience about what MeraEvent does. MeraEvent is one of the India's largest event listing, promotion and ticketing platform. The primary USP of the MeraEvents is India's first event ticketing platform dedicated to the events. That's one of our USPs, where the early mover advantage we are getting it in the market. The second thing is we are an end-to-end event technology portal compared to other just the ticketing portals. We have the complete end-to-end technology, starting from identifying the venues for an event, listing of an event, promoting, ticketing, even networking it during the events, and some kind of exhibitions where you actually can do a digital brochure. So we have a complete end-to-end solution what we have, which compared to the other players. And some other value is it's a self-do-it platform, so where you don't need anybody's intervention to create an event by the third party. So you yourself can come to the MeraEvents and create the event with less than 2 to 3 minutes. So it's a self-do-it platform. That is one thing, and we have the lowest in terms of the payment gateway, 1.99%. So these are some of the USPs of MeraEvents.
That's very interesting. Well, if you look at the entire event market today, there are a lot of the international players who are trying to get see the Indian market as the most lucrative next, and they're coming in. So how are you prepared to tackle that? With their technologies, with their knowledge of the event market, how are you prepared to tackle them or compete with them and stay alive?
So I see this is a good sign that international players are looking at in India, and we being last 4 years, MeraEvents was born up in 2009. Since we have been there for last 4 years in that market, we know better than anybody else compared to the international players. And India is definitely different in this space compared to, especially in the space of event industry. So it is in one sense advantage to us, and more international players coming. Usually they look for some kind of a tie-ups or partnership with the local who are the leading players. So which is maybe an advantage to MeraEvents compared to the demerit to the MeraEvents.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's a nice way to look at it. And most of these startups here, as I've understood, who are into the event, are looking for investment or have had investment rounds to expand to a broader market. How about MeraEvents?
So MeraEvents is primarily a bootstrapped company with close to investment of 4 crores personal from my own sources funds, and a little bit from families and friends. But it's a more of a bootstrap company. Yes, we are looking for raising the funds, the next round, probably a VC round directly, where we are looking anywhere in the range of 15 to 20 crores of money. So that we can actually expand our operations both domestic as well as international market. So we are in the process. Probably in the next 6 months, we will look for some external fundings in the range of 10 to 15 crores. But today we are a self-bootstrap company and continuously running successfully fine.
And when you're talking about getting invested, the first thing people will ask for is what is the kind of revenue that you're generating, right? And secondly, of course, most of the people who want to grow internationally, as seen, one of the leading players here also has changed the name to suit the international audience. So if you could just start with what the kind of revenue that you get, and then you could tell me, how are you going to go about the change of name, or are you against it? So, that would be great.
So in terms of revenues, right now, we closely sell close to 10 to 12 crores worth of tickets worth in a year right now, which is still a small number compared to the market size of almost 5,000 crores. So we're still a long way to go in terms of revenues, but it's a very unorganized sector, so making them online to understand and making use of the product, it took a long time, but we see a growth, like at least in year-on-year growth of 300%, 400% growth, which is really good for any investors. An investor look for growth and scalability, and we see being a 5,000 crore market and the kind of number of events happening as close to 1 lakh events happening in India. I see this is a really good market for the investors. So in terms of the investment, I think we are right suitable, and being the leader in this space for a long time, so I think that is a good value for us in terms terms of that one. And in terms of the name, I mean, I personally coming from Indian market, and I'm strongly believer of India, and why not, Indian products or brands also can go to international. Today, people are comfortable with the Indian products and names, and I don't want to change the name at least in the initial time, because our primary focus is the Middle East and Asia Pacific market, which is comfortable. Most of the Middle East market comfortable with the name of MeraEvents. Mera is the Hindi word name, so it is very much comfortable. So right now we don't have any plans in changing the name, but we will definitely go with the same brand for the international market. But we have other products in association with the MeraEvents. Those are already fine-tuned to the international standards and the name, so there is absolutely no issues with those products, which are already getting sold in the international market already. We already launched in some of the products in the international market, and they're already started selling on it.
All right. Interestingly, you said the market is pretty disorganized. Right. So when you look at a disorganized market, it's generally driven by people who are not very technology savvy. So what is that you're doing to enable technology as an convenience to all these people? I'm sure you deal with a lot of guys on the ground level for even the operational procedures of any event. So how do you basically deal with that?
See, I agree that this is a very unorganized sector, but however, the main pain point for an organizer is I need to sell more tickets, I need to reach to the more audience with the lesser cost. So that is definitely the most painful point. So, and we are solving that problem in a simple and easier way. Today we are able to reach to the maximum audience, close to a million Facebook fans, and we send out close to more than 500,000 to million emails on a subscribe newsletter on a weekly basis, and we have more than 20,000 visitors coming to our website daily to check what is happening. So this will give a platform for the organizers to sell more tickets, to reach the audience in a lesser cost, so they are able to understand quickly. End of the day, everybody is a business, so they wanted to do more business. So, and when we are giving a platform for them to do more business, they're happy to use the platform, and it takes time. For maybe a first time, it takes some time to explain and show the benefits. But I see, the traction from these people once they understood the value is tremendous, and they're repetitive customers for us.
Right. So, in the internet audience, as you said, the internet savviness comes down to the ground level, because there are more than 15 million people who are having handhelds or smartphones, where they access internet from, or they are very comfortable with, and they have never seen the PC era at all. So, how have you adapted yourself to make it comfortable for those people?
So we have the strategy for that, and we have relaunched our website in March 2013, which is a responsive design. I think first off, responsive design website in the event space when we launched it. Of course, other players are following up on that. So what responsive design does is, based on the device and the size and the screen size, the entire website is adapted according to the size of the screen. So people can check the information about the events on the mobile, and they can even buy the ticket on mobile comfortably. On top of that, we are in the process of launching our mobile native applications on both an Android and iOS in the next 15 to 20 days time frame. So that will even expect to increase the volume on the and transactions on the mobile space. So we are already doing around 20-25% of our transaction, growing list around in the mobile space. So we see that the trend is going to continue, and we are already equipped with that change.
Oh, wonderful. There is one more challenge that most people face, when buying anything online, which is the payment mode or method. There are some people who are very happy with, sharing their credit card details. There are some people who are very happy with making transactions with debit card. But that number is pretty small. When you go with most purchases, now, even COD is something that's there. So do you have any multitude of payment methods that will enable an end user to take a decision really fast?
So we see 90% or 95% of a transaction happens online with the credit card, debit card, net banking, all that thing. However, in order to make the customers to convenience, we also enabled the cash on delivery. So when somebody buy it, you can actually register a ticket, but say that somebody please come and collect at my doorstep. So we have tied up with the third-party companies where you can, once they buy the ticket, they will go there, collect the money, and then enable the confirmation of the ticket. So we do have options of both online, net banking, credit card and all the debit card facilities, plus the COD, cash on delivery model. Though we don't see too many transactions going on a COD because there is no physical, an equipment giving to them. It's more of a digital kind of a buying. It's a more of paper piece of what activity. So we don't see too many transactions, and there are certain events. Actually, the events will go away, the selling very fast. So especially the live entertainment and concert and things like that. So people are wanted to have a confirmation and commitment, because today people are both air travel and train, movie tickets are already comfortable to buying the tickets. So I see the same trend happening with the event tickets. Not many COD transactions, but we do have all the facilities needed for the customer.
That's very interesting. So you're giving the convenience back to the customer in whatever payment modes, and very startling information to understand is there are 90% of the people are using credit and debit cards, which is quite huge improvement. Now, considering that event is not something that's a planned purchase, it's something that's always an instant decision that people make. How do you reach out to the audience at the time so that they can make a quick decision? Is there any other marketing activities you do as MeraEvents that pushes premium events, or for that matter any event, right in people's faces?
So MeraEvents is being an online platform. We are very, very strong in the social media platform, both Facebook, Twitter, and other classified website. We are one of the top 100 startup companies where we are actually in the top 25 or 70 number. We're in 70 in some of the startup company list where the number of engagement on the social media side is a lot higher. We have close to 1 million Facebook fan base today. That means they're all interested to find out information. On top of that, we have close to 600,000 people subscribe to our newsletter, so we reach out to them on whenever the summary of all the events what is happening it. So we do have many ways to reach them, and also on top of that, I see anywhere 15 to 20,000 people comes to our website, see what is happening. Based on that, they also make the decision. On top of all that, my event organizers also refer to our platform to buy the ticket. So when a person buys one ticket, he also sees what else is there, and then he also makes the decision on that. So there are many ways we are reaching out to them. On top of all this, we encourage our event organizers to do early bird offers. When an event is there, say 4 months before, but it's a long event, maybe 1,000 people event. Today, how a flight ticket or a hotel booking is happening, whoever is giving the early commitment, they're getting that benefit of lesser cost. So we are introducing the same concept in the event space too, where people actually can do an early bird offer. Sometimes it is as low as 50% from the original price from there. So people makes the decision early and committed to the organizer. So organizer also on a peace of mind can work and focus on the event rather than delegates. So all these new changes actually increasing the penetration and the buying of the tickets online, and a commitment and instant ticket buying. So we have a discount code concept and promotional codes and early bird offers.
Wonderful. So that's as much as the consumer side is concerned. There's one question that remains. How does an organizer benefit? And generally, organizers have trouble waiting for the period of redemption, etc. So could you kindly say how MeraEvents makes it more convenient for an organizer, event manager, to organize events, number one, and number two, get his money faster?
See, the first and foremost thing today is if some event organizer who does few events, and to set him an online payment itself, it is a process of 3 to 6 week process plus an initial commitment of 10 to 40,000 rupees of commitment. Here, when working with MeraEvent, there is no upfront cost for them, and the entire setup process is less than 5 minutes. So he can come and create an event and start selling that in the next 5 minutes of the event. So which is the most convenient for him. The second thing is he no need to have the hassle of collecting the payment, calling the missed calls. So the entire payment thing is taken care by us, and we deposit that money into their accounts less than 3 days of the event completion. So he doesn't need to worry about all that. So at the same time, he can download the entire attendee list in a simple Excel sheet on the day of the event, and we have a check-in process on the day. He can able to simply verify all the people who were bought the ticket. So all these measures, what we made is very easy and convenient. On top of that, we're helping them to buy and sell more tickets by visibility, with the visibility, These making the organizer more comfortable, and we at least work close to 100 new events every day. That means almost 3,000 new events coming to our platform without any about our work. They come and they do all that. Maybe one time we explain them the value and the chain, but from there they actually do themselves, and they're able to download, they get the report on a daily morning, how many tickets are sold. And so it's a completely end-to-end system. On top of this, for the delegates also, we give the reminders and the visitor pass, and then feedback after the event. So all these mechanisms will helping the event organizer to make it simple, so you can focus on the event, not on the technology. But everybody building a technology is so difficult, and we have invested time and energy for everybody on that, and now all the organizers are happy with that approach of what we are doing it.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's convenience for the organizer, that's convenience for the consumer, and that's MeraEvents for you. So the next time you're organizing an event, you got MeraEvents for your